Welcome to your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference. We explore topics, local festivals, arts and entertainment, and local news. For this program and much more, visit us online at yourlocalstream.com. That's yourlocalstream.com.
Hey, I'm Kason Howard. I'm the Walton County 4-H agent. We have a lot of exciting things coming up in Walton County 4-H. First of all, it is now time to start thinking about summer camp. We have 6 different camps that our 4-Hers can attend, ranging from grade 4 to 12, and they go all across the state. So if you're interested in one of our camps that could bring you to Rock Eagle, to the mountains, or to the beach, give us a call and we'll be happy to sign you up. We also have some things going on in our county, like wildlife judging and poultry judging. If your child is interested in that, we'd love to have them there as well. So if you have any questions about anything going on with Walton County 4-H, please feel free to email us at walton4h@uga.edu or call us at 770-267-1324. Thank you.
Hi, it's Jody Johnson. I'm here with another recreation report. Spring is very close by. All of our spring sports are really undergoing. Our opening day is set for March 15th, so we'll have a lot of baseball and softball, soccer, and track going on. So all our teams are practicing right now. Our basketball teams went out and participated in the district sports, and our girls 10 and under are playing on March 8th and 9th for the state championship up in Whitfield County up near Dalton. So good luck to our 10 and under girls team that advanced to the state competition. Out at Walnut Grove, we've got a lot of construction going on out there. Our all the ball field lights are up. Most of the community centers are enclosed and dried out. So we're looking forward to seeing a lot more construction going out there. The synthetic turf is going in the next couple of weeks. So it's really starting to take shape. The amphitheater is also the slab's been poured, so you can really see all of the elements at the park. Now, you really can't go in there. We'll try to put something on our website at waltoncountyga.gov if you want to see some aerial views of what's going on out there. We're still looking at a completion date now at December 27th, just like the entire area in that side of the county. There's a lot of rocks, so it's delayed us a few days there, but not a whole lot during the month of December. So we should be ready to go around January 1st of 2026 with the entire park. Really looking forward to that. It's got a lot of elements that we don't have anywhere else in Walton County. So the indoor pickleball courts at Criswell Park, we've extended the times that are available out there. We now go from 7 in the morning until 3 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. And then on Sundays, we're going from 10 until 6. If you'd like to use the indoor courts, you can go by one of our community centers and get an access card. The cost is less than $50 for the rest of the year between now and June 30th. And then we'll start the new membership drive on July 1st. That's the fiscal year for the county. So it's a membership access. They'll give you a card just like you do at our community centers where you have a card to access to go upstairs. This is an access card that gets you into the door to the indoor pickleball courts. So it's very affordable for folks to be able to utilize that. And right now it's not overcrowded. If we get where we're overcrowded, we'll start having reservations. We do have a pickleball league that we're advertising on our website. We have over 50 people that have already registered for that pickleball league. We are adding courts out in between. It may not be ready for this particular season, so we'll have the 4 courts there and then the courts out at Criswell. We are in the works of adding 12 more out in between and 12 more courts in Loganville. And then we're going to change over Nile Recreation where we'll have 7 more indoor courts there. So we'll have plenty of places for people to play pickleball indoors and outdoors. I know the weather either gets cold or rainy or windy. It really affects the pickleball and people want to play, so we'll have some indoor courts and outdoor courts as well. So go to our website at waltoncountyga.gov for if you want to join the pickleball league that we have. and it's not real stringent on the number of players that you can have. You play 2 on your team, but I think you can have up to 5 listed. So if someone can't play that day, you can add a sub in for you to play in the league play. And it's fairly set up where we'll try to, you'll set the schedule and the place to play that's closer and convenient to you and who you're playing against. So we got that in the works. We have our craft fair coming up at Meridian Park in Loganville, and all the booths are all full. So we've got a lot of great vendors of local talent going to be at the Meridian Park. So we hope you will go. It doesn't cost anything to come inside, so we hope you'll check that out, and maybe you'll find some local crafts that you want to buy from those folks, because that's really what pushes it, is the number of people that are walking through those doors. So on March 22nd, start around 10 o'clock in the morning and go till mid-afternoon. We hope you'll check that out at Meridian Park in Loganville. So that's really all we have going on right now. It's the weather's changing, the time is changing, we're having more daylight, so make sure you go online and check out a park near you. If you're wanting to rent pavilions and sort of things like that this summer, it's a great time to go ahead and try to do that before they get all booked up. So until next time, thank you very much.
Hello, welcome to Monroe Walton Center for the Arts. I'm holding up a poster for our 2 fun spring events coming up. We have the garden party. We call it a Toast to the Arts garden party. We're staying away from the word gala. I think we called it gala last year, but that made people think of sequin gowns, and we are just not sequin gown kind of people here at the Arts Center. So this is a more casual event, but you can dress up as much as you want, but sequins are not required. It will be at the Sparrow Grove Manor again, like it was last year, and I'll just never forget, after the event last year, it was our first event time putting on an event like this, and everybody said, you've got to do this again. This was so fun. So we're doing it again. It'll be a night under the stars, well, under a tent with really pretty sparkling lights, music, dancing, lots of good food and drinks, and a DJ will be there, and you can dance and have fun. We'll have a silent auction with all kinds of goodies, from original art to golf outings and everything in between that you can imagine, at all price points. So please be looking on our website. You can come into the Art Center and learn about it. It's on Facebook. It's everywhere in the world. So that is on April 26th, and then following a couple of weeks later, on Mother's Day weekend, we will have the garden tour, Nature Meets Art garden tour. We've got 5 gardens on the tour, and then 3 kind of special stops. Like last year, we're having the plant sale thanks to Growers Outlet. They're donating the proceeds of their plant sale to us, so it's a benefit to us. We've got 5 beautiful gardens. I believe 4 of them are brand new to the tour or haven't been on the tour in several years. So it'll be a lot of fun. The Master Gardener's Greenhouse will be on the tour again. We'll have Scott Profit there from Bartlett Tree Service. He'll be giving away 300 tree seedlings this year. Lots of really fun, different things going on. We'll also have a stop for the Wellspring Flower Farm. Lots of really fun, beautiful places. It's Mother's Day weekend. If you're looking for a gift for your mom or for your daughter, this is the perfect thing to just go spend the day with them on that Saturday of Mother's Day weekend. And the tickets right now, it's the early bird prices last till March 31, and the party tickets are $40, the tour tickets are $25, or you can get a combo ticket for $60. These funds help us keep our doors open. We try to keep our prices as low as we can on our classes, so having fundraisers like this supplements our budget so that we can keep our classes affordable. Also, it helps to fund the special things that we do with special needs kids and adults. It helps to pay for those classes, helps to pay for supplies and improvements that we have to make here from time to time. So please support us. We need your money. We appreciate your prayers and your thoughts and your support coming in here and shopping in our artist market, visiting the gallery, shopping in the gallery when things are for sale in here, all the different ways, becoming a member, all the ways that you support us. And Monroe is so good to us, and we appreciate you all so much. This is just one more way, really, really, really fun ways to support local arts. We are a nonprofit. We operate literally on a shoestring budget, and so we really covet your help. So thank you. I know that y'all will love both events. Y'all have always supported us, and so these are coming up this spring. And then if you haven't come by and picked up our impact report for 2024, please do that. I think if you see the impact report, you will say, yeah, I want to do this. This is a great organization. We do a lot of really nice things in our community, a lot of things for free, a lot of things at a lower cost for special populations. So do come in and pick up this impact report. We've got plenty, and we urge you to take it and look it over. It's a quick read. It might take you 2 or 3 minutes to glance through it. So do pick this up. Do support us with the tour and the party. Pick up a class list when you come in. We've got some great classes still coming up in March. We have one other fundraiser actually coming up in March, which is a kind of a fundraiser, sip and paint type thing, where all of our, we're going to move things around in the gallery, and all of our painting teachers, Donna, Camden, Nancy, Jeanette, and Jennifer, are going to teach kind of a group. We're going to fit as many people as we can into our gallery, and we'll be painting a beautiful floral picture, and they are donating their time to raise funds for the Art Center, especially for the education department. That fundraiser is specifically for them. They need new chairs up in the some of the classrooms, and tables and things of that nature. So that fundraiser is coming up toward the end of March, and you'll walk away with a beautiful, beautiful painting. So come in, visit us. The elementary school show is in right now. Coming up is the middle and high school show. And then we'll go into our summer show and sale season, which is a lot of fun, lots of different shows during the summer and early fall. And we always have something fun and exciting going on. Pick up a class list so you can keep up with what we have going on. And we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kenny Sargent with Keep Walton Beautiful in the Walton County Recycling Center. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. Staying crazy busy here at the center. Already this month we're well on our way to having over 2,000 cars across our scales. So definitely wanted to thank everybody that's coming out and using the center. Come out and see us. Give us a call if you have any questions. We'd be happy to get you recycling. We really enjoy all the business we have here, and people coming out to see us. Did want to point out, we're starting to see, a lot of cars come in with mixed loads. They may have, some household trash mixed with tires, mixed with the mattress. just as a reminder, the tires and the mattresses, there's a flat fee for those. They go in a completely different location. So when you're loading your trailers or your truck or whatever, if you have a mattress or if you have tires that you're going to be bringing in, have them to where you can either get to those first or have your trash to where you can get to it first. But having it all mixed up is causing people a lot of extra work and time. If you kind of keep those things separate, again, there's different locations for those items and a flat fee for those, to whereas any household trash, furniture, that kind of thing is all charged by the weight. You would just be dumping it on the pad and paying for the weight of that. So keeping that separate will allow you to get your tires and mattress off, pay the flat fee, and not have to pay the fee of their weight plus the flat fee. So it'll save you a few dollars or time. So been seeing quite a bit of that going on. So just like I said, I'm trying to save you some time and money down here when you do come. If you have any questions about that, if that's confusing at all, give us a call down here. We'll explain it, try to make your visit as easy as possible. Our number down here is 770-267-1421. And we're getting a lot of mattresses in right now. Just a reminder that unless you have a king set with like the king mattress and the two like twin box springs, outside of those as the exception, we have a limit of 2 mattresses or box springs at a time. So just basically want to give everyone an opportunity. We can only take in so many before we're full. And we don't want to allow some people to come in with 15 or 20 mattresses when somebody that's just purchased a new mattress and only has one can't even get rid of it. So we did put a limit for now to 2 per customer. So and looking forward, I did want to remind you that we do have a document destruction coming up at City Hall in Loganville. That'll be Saturday, April the 26th from 9 to 11. If you have any questions about the event, give us a call. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about that. Again, that will be Saturday, April the 26th at the Loganville City Hall from 9 to 11. We're still looking to add a document destruction event here in Monroe. We checked on a couple of dates that worked for us and it didn't work for the company. So we're still working through that, and we're going to try to have one of those, if nothing else, by summertime. So I'll keep you posted on that as we move forward. But as of now, we don't have anything posted here at the recycling center. But we are working on it. And like I always do, come out and see us. We continue to grow here. We're staying, as busy as can be, but we enjoy that. We love seeing new people come in. We love seeing new recyclers, helping people get started recycling, and we think we can continue to grow. So give us a call. Again, our number is 770-267-1421. Look forward to seeing you and hearing from you, and until next time, take care.
All right, hi everybody. My name is Jay Connor. I'm the Walton County Family and Consumer Sciences Agent. Today we're here with Jason Wright of Wright Insurance. We're hoping to do a little bit of education to inform some folks about insurance. Jason, you want to tell the folks a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Sure. I've been in the insurance business for about 23 years now. I've been an insurance agent, owned my agency for that whole time. I've worked in a couple of different formats in insurance and have worked across a pretty wide range of different types of insurance products, from home and auto insurance to business insurance, life insurance, long-term care insurance, and all those kinds of things.
Awesome. So you're exactly the kind of person we want to talk to today. First, we want to tell the folks what are some common terms people are going to need to know before we get to talking about specific types of insurance.
Yeah, so some of the main terms that people will hear that they may not be familiar with, of course, one is policy. And I think the main thing to remember about when people talk about an insurance policy is it's just an insurance contract. Ultimately, that's what it is. They just call it a policy. Within that, you have a number of other terms. Deductible is one that people will hear oftentimes. That's the part of the loss that a person is going to pay for themselves before the insurance company will pay any of that loss. There are coverages and limits. Those can be both numbers and types of losses that are covered. So a typical coverage limit may be that the policy will protect an insured, a policyholder, up to a $300,000 liability. And that's what a coverage is, or a limit is. And then the last ones that I want to mention are losses or perils. In the insurance contract, it has a list of perils that it's insuring against. So it can be like in a home insurance policy, it can be things you might expect: fire, lightning, windstorm, hail, theft, vandalism, all those kinds of things. They're simply called perils. But people think of them, what does my policy cover? And that's what they're referring to.
Excellent. Before we start, first thing we wanted to start with was talking about home insurance. If you were talking to a first-time home buyer, what would they need to know about home insurance?
Yeah, so a home insurance policy is a policy that is put in place to protect what they own in their investment. So you have a structure that's being insured. A home insurance policy also does other things. It provides coverage for personal belongings inside the house. So if, a lot of people will use the example, if you were to pick up the house and shake it, everything that falls out is probably personal property, and that's a separate coverage within the policy. Another main coverage in a policy is liability coverage. Think of it as almost like slip and fall protection. If a guest comes onto your property and they trip over an extension cord and fall and hurt themselves, you may be legally liable for their injury, and the policy will protect you from that liability. And then it has other coverages and what have you that are in it also that can be very valuable. Loss of use is one of those coverages. It will pay for somebody to live somewhere else if they can't live in their home while a coverage repair is being made, and some things like that. So that's the general structure of a home insurance policy.
So how is a home insurance policy going to be different than a renter's insurance policy that some folks may be more familiar with?
Yes, that's a great question. A renter's insurance policy is really only focused on two main coverages. One is personal property coverage. So all of your furniture, furnishings, clothing, pots and pans, all those things that you would take from your apartment or the home that you're renting to somewhere else is personal property. And then also renter's insurance will have liability coverage. Again, if someone comes onto the property and they are injured because of something that you do, then you may be liable for their injury, and renter's insurance will protect you from having to pay that claim. A renter's insurance policy can also pay for someone to live somewhere else if where they're living is damaged. So we often hear on the news about an apartment fire, and we always hear the American Red Cross is out here to assist people who are displaced. If you have renter's insurance and you have proper coverages, it will pay for you to live somewhere else. You can just go to a hotel that night, get settled, and worry about things the next day, and that insurance policy will probably reimburse you for that. Now, deductibles come into play and all that. Contrast that with a home insurance policy. A home insurance policy has those coverages in it also that a renter's insurance policy does, but it also has coverage for the structure. It's called the dwelling. Think of it as the box that you live in, all the floors, the walls, the ceiling, the roof, all those things. And it provides coverage to repair or rebuild those items if they're damaged in a covered loss. And then a home insurance policy can also have coverage for what are called different things, other structures, appurtenant structures, but they're structures that are not the dwelling, that are on the property. It can be a detached garage, a shed. She sheds became popular a few years ago, and people put a lot of money into these things. Detached fences or fences around property. Those can all be detached structures that would also have coverage in the home insurance policy that are not going to be in a renter's insurance policy.
Something that especially our first-time home buyers are going to be hearing a lot about is a term called mortgage insurance or private mortgage insurance. What is that, and how is it different from their home insurance policy?
Private mortgage insurance is a coverage, a policy that a borrower is required to buy to protect the lender. And that's where a lot of people get confused. They see on their mortgage escrow statement, or they see on their HUD-1, there's this line item that says PMI, or private mortgage insurance, and they think, oh, I don't need home insurance now because I'm having to pay for this. Well, that's not true. PMI is there to protect the lender if the borrower defaults on the loan. That's all that it does, but the cost of that is put back onto the borrower. Home insurance is different. A lender is going to require what's called hazard insurance, and home insurance is technically different, but it satisfies the requirements of hazard insurance. At its core, hazard insurance is about protecting the investment that the mortgage company is making. All they care about is that structure or any other collateral attached to the structure. And that's all that hazard insurance is going to take care of for them, and it's not going to take care of it for the buyer, the borrower. It's going to only take care of the mortgage company. Home insurance satisfies that requirement of hazard insurance, but it's there to protect the borrower and the homeowner. And it has all those other coverages in it so that it's not only protecting the investment that the mortgage company is making in that property, it's protecting your investment as an owner as you continue to build equity in that home.
All right, so in regards to home insurance, what are some examples of some losses that are going to be covered, and what are some examples of losses that aren't going to be covered?
It's a good question. So the things that you probably would expect are covered are going to be covered in most home insurance policies. Things like fire, lightning, windstorm, hail, theft, vandalism. There could be some other things in there. Accidental discharge of water is one that's often covered. That's different than a water backup and overflow. That sometimes is not going to be covered, or you have to have an endorsement to get that kind of coverage. And it can even get into why the backup happened, if there's coverage or not. So the language within the policy becomes very, very important. And that's another thing is that not on a declarations page, you can see all the things that are listed for the coverage limits, like the dwelling, and those numbers between two different companies can match, the liability limits can match, but it's the language within the policy that really matters. And it's really tough for a consumer because the consumer is not going to read through all that to understand it. That's the advantage of, again, a professional insurance agent to guide them through that. But other things that are not going to be covered, flood is never covered on a home insurance policy. And what that means is when it's raining and water hits the ground and then somehow it comes inside of a house, that's a flood. The pipe bursting upstairs and then draining downstairs, that's an accidental discharge of water, which is covered by a home insurance policy usually. But a flood is not covered. Earthquake is not going to be covered. Intentional damage is not going to be covered. That goes into fraud and some things like that. So those are some of the things that are typically covered and some of the things that are usually not going to be covered.
Wonderful. You got it?
Got it.
Awesome. Great. All right, so we're going to keep moving forward. We're going to start talking about car insurance. What would folks need to know about their car insurance policy?
There are three main parts of an auto insurance policy. So the first part is liability coverage. It's the part of the policy that pays someone else if you're liable for their injury or the damage to their vehicle or their property. So you're driving down the road, you can't stop in the rain quickly enough, you hit the car from behind, you're liable for that. So the liability part of the policy is going to protect you from having to pay them out of your own pocket. The insurance company will protect you from that, will pay that claim to them. The second part of the policy is called uninsured motorist coverage, or sometimes it's called underinsured motorist coverage, depends on the location, primarily the state. But uninsured motorist coverage is the part of the policy that will take care of you if someone else hits you and they're liable for the accident and they don't have insurance or don't have enough insurance. So for instance, if I'm driving home today and somebody runs the red light and hits me and they don't have any insurance at all, I've got coverage on my own policy that's going to take care of my injuries and it's going to take care of fixing my car or paying me for the value of my car if it's a total loss. It's not about keeping the other person from being responsible. It's about taking care of me, and that's what's important if I'm hurt in an accident. The third main part of the policy is called physical damage coverage, and it's broken up into mainly two parts: collision coverage and comprehensive coverage. A lot of folks will use the phrase full coverage when they want coverage like this also. In addition to liability and uninsured motorists, they'll also want coverage to fix their car. I don't use the phrase full coverage because in my career of 23 years, I've never had a single client take all of the optional coverages that are available. So is it really full coverage? So I just refuse to use that phrasing. But most people mean that they want coverage that will fix their car also, which is collision and comprehensive coverages. Collision coverage is just what it says. If you're going down the road and you impact something or something impacts you, technically that's a collision, regardless of who's at fault. Technically it's a collision. And the collision part of the policy will pay to fix your car or pay for up to the value of your car if it's a total loss. There's a deductible that people can choose. Most common, we used to see most common was probably $500. Now we're seeing a lot of $1,000 deductibles. And we actually see deductibles higher than that if the car's value justifies it. Then there's comprehensive coverage, which is the other part of physical damage coverage. And that's coverage for things like theft, vandalism, storm damage. If you're parked in the driveway during a storm and a big branch falls off the tree and lands on top of the car, that's a comprehensive loss from storm damage. It also has a deductible. I usually suggest that people look at lower deductibles on that because the cost savings to go to a higher deductible is usually not warranted. So I want to find value in the policy for people, and that's how one way they can find that value. So those are the three main parts of an auto insurance policy.
You know, I'm really proud of my new car. I worked so hard to buy it a few years ago. But what do I need to know about how can I make changes to my policy as a vehicle ages?
That's a great question. So one of the things that I see way too often is that people will be paying for collision and comprehensive coverages that they may not benefit from. So keep in mind, the liability coverage you have to carry regardless of the vehicle, regardless of how old it is or how new it is, that's required by Georgia law just to get on the road and drive. But collision and comprehensive coverages are optional. Now, if you have a loan, then you've got to carry those coverages. The loan contract that you have is requiring you to carry that coverage until you satisfy the loan. But once the car is paid off, you can choose whether you want to continue that coverage or not. The way that I suggest that people look at it is what's the value of the car. So,
all right, what other variables change the cost of my car insurance policy?
Yeah, so obviously the vehicle that you have is a big factor. It used to be that newer cars were going to be more expensive to insure than older cars. That's not always the case anymore. And as a car ages, the cost may not be going down, and a big part of that is probably because of inflationary impact. But the other variables other than the car that's going to impact your insurance cost is your age. Gender in younger ages has an impact. A 16-year-old male is more expensive to insure than a 16-year-old female. And so the insurance company is going to charge a little bit more for that younger male driver than they would the younger female driver. So age can have some impact on it. Driving history is probably the next biggest impact. Moving violations, whether it's speeding or running a stoplight or something like that, those all have an impact on it. And then the claims history. So it used to be that people, and still a lot of times will say, okay, I have damage to my car, I'm going to file a claim. That may not be the right choice up front. I really do suggest that people at least find out what it's going to cost. Now, if someone hits somebody else or they damage somebody else's property, they just need to file a claim. They run the risk of giving up coverages if they don't notify the insurance company of that loss. But if you back into your mailbox and nobody else is impacted in that situation, I don't know that I would file a claim to fix my car before at least going to find out what it's going to cost to fix it, because you may find out that the cost to fix it is below your deductible anyway, and so you may just need to pay out of pocket to fix it. Your coverage limits and deductibles will impact your cost. If you have less coverage, it's going to cost less. The downside of having less coverage is you may not be protected in a bad situation. Somebody can still sue you, and even though you may not have a lot of assets now, as I understand it in Georgia, they can actually attach your future income to settle that suit if you don't carry enough coverage. And then deductibles can also be a way to control costs. It's how much will you pay out of pocket to fix your car before the insurance company pays to fix it for you.
Excellent. We're going to finally move on to life insurance. What are the basics that people need to know about life insurance?
So there are generally speaking, two types of life insurance. Permanent life insurance, which is designed to be there for the rest of life, no matter how long that is. So if somebody wants to have life insurance coverage, if they lived to 92 or 101, into their 80s even, then permanent life insurance is the way that you take care of that need. On the other hand, you have what's called term insurance, and it's more of a temporary insurance. It's for a specific term period of time. So that can be 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Usually they don't go past 30 years, but you can get coverage for that specific period of time. And so that type of insurance, term insurance, is used when the coverage need is going to go away at some point. So use your home buyer example. A lot of times people will call me because they're buying a home and they know that they want some way to pay the home mortgage off if something happens to them so that the family doesn't have to leave the home. And so you can do that through a 30-year term life insurance policy. It fixed the cost for that 30-year period. It's a fixed benefit also, but we know that coverage that need is going to go away at some point down the road. Other common examples are education expenses. If we know we want to make sure that that their children can go through college, well, if the youngest child is newborn, well, then you don't need coverage past about 22, 23 years because they're going to be through college at that point. And so you can get a term insurance policy for that, which is more cost effective than a permanent insurance policy.
All right, now why is life insurance important? And, to be a bit frank, we're all going to die, so why do insurance companies sell it to us?
Yeah, so life insurance is important because people are often relying on the incomes that we have. So for instance, in my household, I'm married, I have 4 children. They rely on my income as a part of their sustenance. And so if I'm not in the picture any longer, I have life insurance in place that will take care of them so that they don't have, hopefully, a significant lifestyle change. A family member passing away is devastating. Emotionally, mentally, it's draining, it's exhausting. It's a very hard thing to go through grief. And what life insurance does is it at least takes away the burden of the financial impact of that family member not making it home one day. So that's why life insurance is important. Sometimes in some situations, people are required to get life insurance. For instance, we do a lot of business insurance and people have SBA loans. And a lot of times the SBA will require them to have a life insurance policy to back up that loan they're giving them. And so that's another example. Why do life insurance companies sell life insurance when we're all going to die? Well, insurance is all about the chance of a risk happening during a specific period of time. So for instance, with life insurance, the insurance company is looking at the odds of me, a male at my age, my health condition and all that. What are the odds of me dying in a specific period of time? Well, in 10 years, that's very little. At my age, in 20 years, it's higher, and at 30 years, it's a good bit higher. But the insurance company knows the statistics of that. And from that, they can then say, we're going to charge a rate so that 1,000 people like me are going to pay into that rate so that those of us who do die during that time period, the benefit will be paid out, and the insurance company is able to keep a little bit of that money. I mean, that's ultimately how it works and why they do it. Again, it comes down to the benefit of why do I spend the money on that life insurance, and it's so that my family or those that rely on me can be taken care of if I'm not in the picture anymore. So it's a give and take. Insurance, all insurance, is about spending nickels for dollars. That's really what it boils down to. I'm going to give the insurance company nickels or maybe dollars. Or maybe I'm going to give them $1 bills, but they're going to put back $10 and $20 and $50 bills, depending on what the insurance coverage is and all that kind of thing, to take care of that circumstance for me.
All right. Finally, what are some common mistakes that you see people make when shopping for insurance, and what should they be talking to their insurance agent about?
Yeah, so the probably the biggest issue that I see, and it's on both sides of the table, not just with consumers, but also with insurance people, is that they start and stop with price. And that's not always the right answer. Sometimes it is. A lot of times it's important. I mean, it's a part of the overall equation about what's the price, but that is often thought of best in terms of value. I can go to store A, and I can buy their on sale off-brand version of green beans in a can. Or I can go to the farmer's market and I can get fresh green beans. I'm gonna pay more per pound for those green beans than I do for the canned green beans. But the value to me is that those fresh green beans are a whole lot better tasting, more nutritious, all those kinds of things. So it comes down to value, not just cost. So that's one of the issues that we often see. And unfortunately, too many people on my side of the table are only showing based on cost, and they're not taking the time to actually educate people so that they can make the decision about what's best for them and their family. The other thing that I would suggest to people is that they kind of have an interview as they're shopping for insurance. First of all, if someone's calling an 800 number to get quotes, you're never going to talk to the same person twice. That person is only going to do what you ask them to do or tell them to do. They're not going to make sure that what they're doing for you is actually what's best for you. So sometimes that has to happen, and that's fine. But when you start getting local with an insurance professional, take the time to almost interview them. Find out about their experience. Find out what they enjoy doing. Find out how they interact with people based on how they're interacting with you. I promise you, if you feel like you're just a number and you're just another piece of work that they're moving across their desk, when it comes down to crunch time, you're probably not going to feel any differently. I've gotten that call at 4:30 in the morning from a client that their house is burning to the ground. And I could tell them with complete confidence, you don't need to worry. Because I knew that I had done everything correctly based on what they wanted to happen and based on what was best for them. And I could go about my day without having to be concerned that something was going to jump up and bite them. But that's the important part of it, is making sure that the person that you're talking with really cares about you, really wants to understand what's best for you, and then show you how that can be achieved. Now, that may not be affordable, and that's fine, but at least then you have a starting point to say, okay, I need to cut costs, so how can I cut my costs some? And then they can advise you about ways to do that so that ultimately you're making the decision about what you want, how much you're willing to spend, and then what risk you're willing to take on yourself. The other aspect of insurance professionals is that you have kind of generally two types of insurance people. You have what are called captive insurance agents that only represent, or primarily only represent, one company. They're only going to offer that as the solution for someone. They're only going to offer their options and that policy to someone. And they are legally an agent of that company. They are representing that insurance company legally. On the other end of the scale, you have what are called independent agents. And those agents will represent multiple companies. They may be acting as an agent for an insurance company, but they're also acting almost like a broker, and sometimes legally as a broker for the consumer. And so in that case, they're representing the consumer to the insurance company, and then providing to the consumer what the insurance company is willing to offer. And so it can be some different ways of interacting there. The biggest advantage, I think, of an independent agent is that they often represent multiple companies. So in our office, we work with about a dozen home and auto insurance companies, and so we're able to check the market over a wider area of the market. Now, we may just come to a person with one option to propose to them, but we've oftentimes checked all those different companies to see what the best option is. So it kind of gives the consumer an opportunity to shop a bigger part of the market with just one agency or one person.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Jason. As always, this is for educational purposes only, and we would encourage folks to make smart decisions and converse with their insurance agents with what's going to be best for their family. So, Jason, thank you so much for your time.
Gladly.
Means a lot as well to us. I want to say a thank you to Jenny, because Jenny's the one that is basically our coordinator with the Key Club and the school, and sort of keeps that connection going. And I know that that takes additional work in your already crazy busy schedule, so thank you for that. She also arranged the meeting today, so let's give Jenny a round of applause. It really is a big deal because, y'all, if you think about it, this part of our club has been missing since COVID. So this is really our first time reconnecting with the Key Club and doing our scholarships since COVID started. So again, it is a big deal that Jenny took the time to reach out to the school and really make that connection for us. So thank you. So without further ado, I'm going to allow Kalani to come up here, and she's going to share some about herself and the Key Club, and we look forward to hearing about it.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kalani Alexandra Johnson, and I'm a Walnut Grove High School graduate. I am so very honored to be here today. I would first like to thank everyone here today, including my family and the Kiwanis Scholarship sponsors. Thank you, Mom, for always supporting me and encouraging me to pursue my dreams. Thank you, Dad, for my passion in mathematics. I am positive I got my nerdy academic brain from you. I would also like to thank my brother, who unfortunately couldn't attend today due to work, for always finding humor in everything and for the countless laughs over the years. I would also like to thank my sister, Kalia, for being the best little sister I could ask for, sometimes. We have had our moments, but I know if I ever needed you, you would always be there for me. And finally, I would like to thank Sharon Kajiwara, my maternal grandma, whom I always called Mama. We were always very close, and she was essentially like my second mom. I know that she is smiling down on me today with pride as she watches over me from heaven. So thank you, Mom, Dad, Keikoa, Kalia, and Mama. I know we are not a perfect family, but that's okay because you guys are all perfect for me, and I'm so glad that you guys are mine. I will try to keep this short, but I apologize if it is not. More likely it's not going to be. I tend to talk a lot. My family and I moved here to Monroe, Georgia, almost a year and a half ago from California. It was a bit of a culture shock, but a positive one. We've never moved before, so you can imagine it was extremely difficult at first. However, we were welcomed with open arms and blessed by Southern hospitality. Who knew that was a real thing? I started in a new school and was so lucky to have met so many amazing people. I had an amazing senior year, and I could not have asked for a better place to have graduated high school from. I am so happy that we moved here, and I am so happy to proudly call Georgia home. My passion for helping others started at a very young age. I joined Girl Scouts when I was in kindergarten at the age of 5. With Girl Scouts, I participated in several community service projects and loved every minute of it. The most notable, however, was my Girl Scout Silver Award project, where a couple of friends and I renovated the girls' school bathroom at my junior high school. We volunteered over 100 hours of community service in planning, gathering materials, and ultimately painting the stalls with positive quotes to boost self-esteem. Furthermore, in junior high, I was involved in leadership. I volunteered over 150 hours in the 2 years that I attended that school. However, when the pandemic hit in the end of my 8th grade year, my ability to volunteer lessened. But I did pick it up again when we moved here to Georgia. I joined the Key Club and FBLA, and in the short time that I was here, I was able to complete over 100 hours of service. And as a result, I was awarded the Key Club medallion to wear at graduation. There were numerous challenges faced during our move to Georgia, especially since it was in the middle of my junior year of high school. However, I managed to thrive and succeed in all of my academics and extracurriculars, and because of this, I graduated Walnut Grove High School with highest honors and ranked 27th out of 324 students. Volunteering has allowed me the opportunity to help others and has given me a fulfillment in knowing that I was able to give back to my community and make a difference. My mama's diagnosis with stage 4 breast cancer and her involvement in the community sparked my interest in organizing fundraisers at a young age. At age 10, I organized one fundraiser for 2 families battling cancer. Monroe, that was her name, coincidentally, a 4-year-old with neuroblastoma blood cancer, and my 3rd grade teacher, Stacy Gibbons, and mother of 2 who had breast cancer. I made rubber band bracelets and raised a total of $380, which was split between them. Unfortunately, my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Gibbons, passed away. She was in remission, but the cancer came back. She was a fighter though, and on the day of her funeral, nearly the entire elementary school attended, about 300 people. At age 12, I completed another fundraiser and raised $900 this time. A little more experience in it, I guess you could say. For Savannah, an 18-year-old with leukemia, and Issa, a 4-year-old with hybrid leukemia. Both of these girls are in remission now and are healthy. I still keep in contact with them to this day. I know that in comparison to the medical costs that they had, what I was able to do for them was very minimal. However, it meant a lot to them because I was so young and I put in the effort to help them in any way possible during that trying time. I have always wanted to become a high school math teacher. Well, I've had a passion for mathematics since 3rd grade, and that developed into becoming a teacher at 6th grade. First, it was a middle school math teacher, then it evolved into high school, then it went maybe professor at a college, and now it's back to high school. And I believe that teaching is not just about imparting knowledge, but it is also about inspiring and guiding students to reach their full potential. I have tutored a total of 5 students, including a classmate in 6th grade with autism, and 4 middle school students while I was in high school. It was incredibly rewarding to know that I was able to help them understand the material by explaining it in a way that made sense to them, ultimately building their self-confidence. These students made profound impacts on their grades, 2 in particular going from being CD students to AB students. Furthermore, to gain more experience, I participated in a volunteer SAT boot camp for math, where I was responsible for tutoring 8 students over a month-long period to improve their understanding of the math section of the SAT and help increase their scores. One student in particular reached out to me after she had received her score and thanked me for my help because she improved her score by a total of 220 points, going from an 1160 to a 1380, and that was mainly in just math. This made me feel extremely proud and happy for her because I was able to make such a difference. I have been accepted and decided to attend Piedmont University in Demorest, Georgia, a private university known for producing amazing educators. I I know that I will succeed there, as I have always been a very determined and hardworking student. I put in 110% and strive for excellence in all that I do. So in conclusion, I am very thankful to be here today. Thank you for everyone attending and being here to support me, especially for sitting through that extremely long speech. So thank you, and that's it.
You get back up here, bud. We have to take, somebody needs to take pictures. You got it, Keith? Thank you. Thank you. And that was not a long speech. When Keith talks, he talks twice that.
You don't know what talking is.
So thank y'all so much for coming. It was wonderful to meet you, and I was very inspired by your story. And I think, like everybody, I was sitting there going, I thought I did a lot. You know? You're really an inspiration. So I would encourage you to share your story with as many young people as you can, because I know if you were that much of an inspiration to us, I can't even imagine how much that would inspire the younger generation, you know, and give them an example. So congratulations. So we have just a few little
Hey everybody, this is Isaac over at Reboot, giving you the Reboot Tech Tip. I want to talk a little bit today about video conferencing. I know that thing has gotten so big, you know, because of the whole virus thing. You know, I know people have seen things about Zoom, you know, and how people are hacking Zoom and all that stuff. And for y'all that don't know, Zoom is basically a video conferencing software where, you know, you can have up to like, I don't know what it is, 5,000 people on one video conference call or something crazy like that. But anyway, so a lot of people are using that to meet, you know, a lot of organizations, so everybody can stay home and meet and stuff like that. So just give you a little info about that. Yes, Zoom was kind of hackable in the beginning and people were a little scared about it, but as far as I know, they have fixed those issues, and so it's pretty safe now. I mean, I tell people all the time, if you're on the internet, you know, somebody can hack you. That's really just the bottom line. So as far as it can be safe, I think it is. You know, Zoom is a good one. It's free if you want to do meetings for up to 40 minutes. But then after that, you have to pay for it. I want to say it's like $15 a month or something like that. But the Zoom one is great. It has great quality. The sound is good. The video is good. All that stuff. So another one that people have been using is called like Google Duos is another one, or Google Meets. And those both can be free if you have a Gmail account, as long as everybody participating has a Gmail account or a Google account. That's a free one. That's a good one. You know, and the stuff we had before, like the FaceTime that people use for Apple products, is great. You know, Skype is probably one of the more glitchier ones. You know, sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't. Some devices it works on, some it doesn't. You know, it's really kind of a pain, so we don't really recommend that one. But you know, and then some folks get scared about, well, you know, after I hang up, you know, can people still see me on my webcam and all that stuff? And you know, once you cut the connection or hit leave the meeting, then you're done. You know, but if you want to, I see a lot of people, they'll put like a piece of tape or something over the webcam, you know, stuff like that, or you can unplug your webcam or turn it off inside the computer, whatever you want to do, if that makes you feel a little safe. But yeah, you know, new world, so people might want to get used to the video conferencing thing. You know, obviously if you got any questions, contact your local IT guy or give us a call here at Reboot. We'll be happy to help you. But that's it. Isaac at Reboot giving you the tech tip.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Your community. This is your hometown. This is Walton Entertainment. This is where you can hear from the community and those making a difference.